You know, it's difficult in this cost of living crisis, isn't it? You know, we're all in it, aren't we? Let's be honest. And it doesn't matter who you are, what you are. I mean, you often don't. You look and think, what shall I do for a new career? That sort of thing. And if you get to a certain age, and we've all been there, haven't we? The only things that are left for you when you present your CV, and I say that sort of term loosely because you can't present it anymore, can you? It has to be online. Have you tried it? Oh, yes. Suddenly, you know, you present yourself, and the minute they see your age, they expect you to produce the CV like it's been written on stone from some kind of rock cave, don't they? You're that old. The only thing they want to give you is trolley pushing in a supermarket. You've been there, haven't you? This is the problem. Well, I've solved your problems now, because guess who is looking for brand new staff? Oh yes, this lady, as ever. Let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Thank you so much for your time today. And as ever, thank you for taking the time out to join me. We'll have a lovely wave. And as ever, thank you for supporting all the recent videos, including, I'm glad you all got behind that one regarding the Prince Andrew interview with Newsnight, and of course, Emily Maitlis, who basically suddenly trying to squeeze out, as I pointed out, even more publicity with a forthcoming Amazon docudrama. I don't know if you remember, Emily, of course, was pictured with a couple of her whippets in, I think, Tatler magazine. Whoever, I mean, I love whippets, but it's not exactly the magazine for them, is it? Yeah. What was the thought process behind that? You'd imagine, oh, just bring the whippets, Emily. Oh, all right then. She did. I think somebody was having a bit of fun, don't you? Back as ever to your royal story of the day. Now, as we know, Josh Settler decided to quit the Montecito mansion literally hours before that Colombian fake royal tour, and that really rocked everybody. Allegedly the 18th person to quit the land of Montecito employment over the last few years. Now, you can dress it up any way you want, but clearly people do not want to work with Harry and Meghan. I sort of put her down, and I think a lot of people would say this literally about a character who was very big over in the United States, apparently very demanding, very concise about exactly what she wants. Anybody thinking Leona Helmsley? Yes. Somebody a little bit like that, who demanded the highest, of course, of her staff, and then if you didn't do that, you were fired. Have you seen that thing? The Queen of Mean? Brilliant movie. Now, apparently, Meghan and Harry are really struggling. Yes, well, not just struggling money-wise, of course. He's got about a few million coming on his 40th birthday next month. But apparently, ever since the vacancy for chief of staff became available out in the land of Montecito, there's a bit of a silence. Now, she still can't find anybody to be the CEO of American Riviera Orchard. Now, that's because nobody really knows what that is. A few pots of jam online doesn't necessarily create a company, does it? And of course, there's a few dog biscuits and the threat of some wine coming forward. That's the reason behind that. But apparently Meghan's been blown a gasket behind the scenes because, well, they need to replace these very vital staff as they move forward with Archewell. Some might suggest, of course, the more staff you have, the more you write off as tax, and that could be very, well, advantageous. Now, according to another source, Mr. Settler is still looking at his options moving forward because, as ever, we have to say allegedly, it wasn't so cut and dry, his dismissal, departure, removal, axe, bullet, whatever you want to call it, from the empire of Harry and Meghan. Nobody was quite really understanding exactly what he was meant to do. This is the bigger problem, you see. If you don't spell out what you want from your staff, then of course they run riot and people decide not. Let's not forget the lady who openly claimed that she'd done most of the work on Archetypes podcast for Meghan and then was airbrushed out of it. As ever, it was all Meghan's idea and Meghan's doing. Sadly, though, she wouldn't go away, and apparently that's still bubbling on, right? But as for the chief of staff, if you're looking for a brand new job and you've got a lot of gumption and more importantly ideas on how to promote Meghan in the wider world, I know, but what are you waiting for? I'll let you get off. Get the CV sent off to Montecito now. They're looking for you. Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.